Yeah, man, I'm gonna go and start the show, man. I can't keep waiting on D.
There you go. The show must go on.
Oh, no, did it, no, did it.
Yep.
Check. Welcome in. Tell a friend. Set your line numbers on episode 106. To the right of me, I have none other than
I'm the people's champ.
The people's champ, the Hornets Nest led the number 1 seed. Shout out to episode 106 to number 6, Bill Russell, Boston Celtics, the true GOAT. Defeats all other GOAT categories, 11 championships, more than Jordan and more than weak LeBron.
Hey, rings don't matter. Rings don't matter at all.
Not the usual. Tonight we getting unpredictable.
There's only three of us here, and unpredictable one of them. How unpredictable is that?
If you ain't a hot boy, then what do you call that? Hey, what's up? 106. I was gonna say, usually I come behind champ since we started in the 100s about what the number mean. But next week I got a special number and it's 108. So I'm gonna save that for next week. But just want to welcome everybody for coming in. As you can see, the LSU Tigers national champs again, and we're gonna do the same thing this fall. All right, because where we from, rings matter. Partner. And we don't care where you started from and who you didn't play with and doing all this and doing all that. Guess what? Herm Edwards says, we play to win the game. And if you win in the games, eventually you're going to win the chip. Shout out to D Weekend Ballers because D host is D late again. So shout out to D Weekend Ballers because you're late.
Yeah. So let's get to the NBA Finals recap, guys. As of this recording, Game 7 hasn't been played yet. Hey, bro, is that Kevin Garnett? What is that?
No, that's Siakam in the background.
Oh,
Siakam calling on all the demons down there in the New Orleans area. He calling for them.
So, fellas,
send them to
you thought it was Shaka Zulu. Or Joe Torres.
Fellas, has this NBA Finals went how you all have thought it was gonna go?
No, I didn't think it was gonna go no 7 games. I thought it was gonna be 4, maybe 5 at the most. But Indy has played above and beyond their talents, and Oklahoma City has played below and under their skill set with all those top end players they got. But it's been a good series. OKC still can pull it out in Game 7, and it won't matter in the overall scheme of things. As long as you win, don't matter how many games you get it did in.
Show you right.
Yeah. It's been a good series. For the most part, it lacked the star power, like the draw that we always want to see. It wasn't no Curry or KD or even Jokic or Giannis, those types of players. And those I left them people off in LA because they don't count.
Don't forget Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum. There you go. Team light skin with their 9 durable cells. But it's been a good series. And I think overall, one thing that if we go back since I want to say 2021 when Milwaukee won the championship, if you look at the teams that's been in the finals and the teams, just the finals itself, if you notice, every team had one great player who pretty much we think is already Hall of Fame caliber, and then you have that all-star talent, and then you have a bunch of role players that play their roles. And when we talk about super teams and things like that, the team that was most cohesive every year seems to make the finals and seems to oh Lord, that bombs over Baghdad. Those are the teams that's been making it. So we always say who didn't have what help and who didn't have this and who didn't have that. And that's been a topic over the last 15 years, 20 years. To me, it's just showing that the NBA is wide open for everybody. I didn't think Indiana was going to make it. I didn't think they was going to make it this far. But if you have a team and a cohesive unit, everybody understand their role, sometimes understanding what to do is better than having talent to do. And that's what these teams are showing right now. That was a shot at LeBron. Always building super teams. Somehow he couldn't.
Show you right. Show you right. Triggerman Joe, your thoughts on the NBA Finals so far?
I think it's a fair assessment to say that it's been better than anyone could have imagined. And piggyback off what Sim said, the NBA loves the stars and want that star power or whatnot. And it's probably one of the most lowest rated finals of all time. But to me, it's one of the most entertaining finals. And it just shows you when you have a love for each other and you have chemistry and play with cohesion, and you have a coach. That's a very underrated thing that a lot of people don't like to throw in. And a lot of time when you have these teams, it really takes a real coach to put everything together to bring home the championship or whatever. And if somehow, some way, Indiana can pull this off, Rick Carlisle will have two of the most incredible runs to the finals ever. And but it's undeniable what he's done in the league as a coach. OKC has really let a lot of people down. They should be an all-time great team. I guess they will still be considered if they win the finals. But to win 68 games and struggle with undermanned, lack of star power team, but that just shows, what Rudy Tomjanovich, the coach of the Rockets, said: never underestimate the heart of a champion. Even though you may have not won a trophy, if you got that championship, you got that dog in you, you always give yourself a chance.
Could anybody? I noticed you guys say OKC has let a lot of people down so far. Can anybody see OKC taking 7 games to win this championship?
You called it.
Who was it?
That's why I need them to win.
You sipping on that third. You did put some money on it.
I should have.
Yeah.
I don't trust the NBA like that. I knew the Rays were gonna suck, and I knew the NBA was gonna need to get all they could because the ratings are down.
That's a good
the
point.
Paychecks are up.
That's a good point.
So
Game 7 gonna bring tons and tons of revenue.
Right. Wingstop, we on their route with Wingstop. They spending money on commercials. But I think this finals was what we thought it was. So we'll talk more about the champions at a later date and push forward to the next season. But you don't want to know why some reason that the NBA finals ratings were down?
Why?
Because the king wasn't on the court. King the GOAT, not on the court.
What king is that?
Jordan retired so long ago.
King James. not the New Testament. LeBron wasn't on the court. But LeBron
when last time he been on the court in the finals?
When the last time he been on the news? LeBron sat down. Y'all got on this show and said, "Oh, he shouldn't be with Steve Nash and have Steve Nash on his podcast." LeBron said a simple little thing, and then it done tore up Beyonce internet. So let's check it out.
Like, okay, you weren't a great player if you never won a championship. Yeah. It's like, or if you won one,
no one ever said
you can't be in the same conversation with this person. It's like,
but that's a great point because what you're saying is like, no matter what you have, you need more. No matter what.
Right.
No matter what. It never ends.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like you sit here and you tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, our wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys just because this guy won one ring or won two rings or one, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has one ring. They don't never discuss that in these sports.
Like saying your son on the
That's what I thought. I thought Peyton Manning had a ring with the coach.
He beat the Bears and he beat he beat Denver, beat Carolina.
So
beat Cam the scam.
Yeah, I don't know who's supposed to go first, but I'm going first anyway.
Do it.
Because guess what? I'm doing Debo. See, this is where he's playing words, and if you don't listen to, because he tried to be slick, right? It's like it's almost like when I was 12 years old, my mama gave me a watch and said be home by 6, but then I rewinded the watch and he said, hey, it was 6 on the watch. That don't mean it was actually 6 o'clock. He said you can't be great. Nobody said you can't be great without a ring. Nobody has never said that.
Never.
So when he brings in Steve Nash and all these great
wait a minute, people hold on. People have said you can't be the greatest.
You can't
without that ring count.
You can't. Because guess what? That's been going on from day one. When have we ever said the boxer was the greatest who never won a boxing championship? Or take away Serena Williams, everything she did, but she never won any tennis finals. Is she the greatest?
You're talking about single player sports. You're talking about single player sports there.
Now, let me tell you who's not qualified to make that statement. LeBron James. You know, I'm going to tell you why. Forget about him talking about he got 9 for 24 in that game 7 when they won, and he took all the credit, but we're not going to go on that. How many teams did you try to build to win a championship? That's all not the owner, not the GM, but you tried to build teams to win championships. So we're not saying you can't be great, because if we take away everybody's rings, we got to put Karl Malone at the hierarchy of that, because before LeBron James became this year or 2 years ago, he was number 2 in scoring and top 5 or top 6 in rebounds. We never gave him credit. So my thing is, Karl Malone with 2 rings, his career looks a little bit different. Right now, we put him out 18 to 20. You give him 2-3 rings, he might be pushing the top 10. And that's the difference between Hakeem and Ewing. If Ewing would have beat Hakeem, we got to put Ewing ahead of him, but he didn't beat him. So rings matter in the context, but there's other things. But because you played longer and you got more points, does that matter? Because your point says it is equated to no playoffs, first round loss, swept. So what the hell does that go do for your team?
Well, Kobe did the same thing. Kobe started chasing points.
He did, but you know what else Kobe did that McGrady never talked about? See, Tracy McGrady tried to be slick. See, I caught the slickness.
Kobe went bad about Kobe. When he got Shaq off the team, he got a couple championships.
Who he gonna basketball to?
What champ?
Kobe was chasing MVPs and stuff.
Champ, you the Oracle. Correct me if I'm wrong. You the Oracle, right, champ? And if I'm wrong, say Sims, you're wrong. Now, Kobe, first 3 rings, we know that was more credit to Shaq. Again, we get that. But Tracy McGrady said, if I had Shaq, what I would do. But no, we forget. Tracy McGrady had Dwight Howard. Tracy McGrady had Yao Ming. And even though he was on the bench, he played with Tim Duncan. Do you know Kobe won 2 more rings without Shaq? So at the end of the day, he still got 2-0 over Tracy McGrady. So yes, you got to have a ring to be the greatest. Because I don't know anybody that never won anything. We call him great.
And still, to everybody's point that everybody love to make about Kobe and Shaq, Kobe still dropped an average about 38 points a game. Kobe still held his team down. He had about 38 in a couple of them games. He averaged 30.
I thought you said average.
He averaged 30 in the playoffs.
Man, stop it, man.
He averaged 30 in the playoffs. He averaged 30 in the playoffs. One of those playoffs with Shaq. He also carried Shaq. He also carried Shaq when he fouled out of the game. Don't nobody want to talk about
Indiana, that. I remember. Yeah, Indiana. That's the first one, man.
Yeah. Because here's the thing that we forget. I can remember a game 6, Utah up by 1. with less than 30 seconds. See, everybody talk about LeBron block. Okay, you block the man's shot. You're 5 inches and 50 pounds heavier. Whoa, ooh, But we forget Jordan stole the ball from Karl Malone, came down, hit the game-winning shot, and they won their next championship. Did you know how we would look at him differently had he missed the shot? Or maybe he would have fouled Karl Malone and then came down and missed the shot? That's the difference between great and the greatest. And at the greatest moment, here's the thing about LeBron at the biggest stage. We ain't talking about just playing Toronto when they won 30 games, or you hit a fadeaway against the Washington Wizards who won 25 games. We're saying at the greatest moment where everybody's watching, just like with Game 7, everybody's watching, he put on a clinic. And LeBron got credit for a block. That's the difference.
Jordan is so great that as a freshman, Dean Smith said, right before they break for the timeout, hey, Jordan, if you get the shot, take it. So that started hitting the game-winning shot in the championship in college. And then the play that Sim was just talking about, he could have ended I mean, you couldn't strip the no better to finish a career like Jordan. But Jordan's so great, he came back and played with the Wizards to bring their value up or whatnot, but still was a baller at the age 40, man. He's just supreme GOAT, man. He the GOAT of GOATs. Shout out to MJ.
Ring culture. Back to the
played
question.
50 years and still got
Ring
the
culture. Here it is.
Back to the culture. Ring culture. Do we count it too much in basketball?
And Joe, did you say bet? Did you say bet,
no,
Joe?
I did not. No, I did not. Shut up.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say no.
Make sure you bag down.
Because in the major team sports, no one player, no other sport can control the whole game and can dictate what happens except in basketball. As great as Pat Mahomes is, he could have scored 50 in the Super Bowl. If his defense gave up 60, they lose. I saw Tom Brady lose a Super Bowl by throwing the most touchdowns in Super Bowl history, and he still lost because his defense gave up all them points.
A goalie in hockey.
We'll give it to a goalie in hockey.
Not win a championship, but in a sport.
That might be a good one right there. We'll have to think about that. Right now,
the greatest player to not win a championship in a sport.
Probably Dan Marino.
You would have been right, Joe. He had 20. He averaged 29.4. So yeah, I was almost right.
I knew it was close though.
But see, here's the thing about ring culture. Let me tell you my view. I look at Paul Pierce with one, Charles Barkley with none. Yes, Paul Pierce has one, but we know what Barkley was just because he came up short. So we're going to, when you look at everything as a whole, Barkley had a better career. Even though he had that ring, we still gonna put Barkley there.
Yeah.
So some people,
Barkley is way better than Paul Pierce.
Same thing with Carmelo and let's just say if Indiana wins, and let's say the point guard for Indiana, he has one, Carmelo doesn't. I still think Carmelo is better, even though the guy
Carmelo
might
better
get
than
one.
who?
Carmelo way better than Halliburton.
Oh yeah.
He better than Paul Pierce too.
Oh no.
What?
Come on now, Joe.
What?
Oh,
come on now, Joe.
What 2 Chainz said? What? No, Carmelo, man.
Carmelo is better than Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Yes,
Man,
most
y'all crazy. Ain't no
yes.
way.
Hands down.
Down.
Ain't nobody ever said Paul Pierce is feared.
What's Carmelo nickname?
It don't matter. Paul Pierce feared Melo. He said Melo was a bulldog.
Kobe said the same thing.
He said he hated playing Melo because he said Melo had no weakness. He said he gonna take you inside. He gonna post you up. He gonna 1 foot 3-pointer from the
Let us know in the comments, chat. Let us know in the comments.
Carmelo. See, here's the thing. Some things we can see with our own 2 eyes, right?
I think he don't care if I'm trying to get the chat to let know the comments. See, here's the thing. Go ahead.
Y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about either. But the biggest thing is when we talk about Melo and Paul Pierce, that's a legitimate argument because we saw them on the court. It depends on what you saw when you saw them go at each other. When we talk about Jordan and LeBron, we never saw them on the court. We can go by the body of work because if we don't count rings, I heard DeMarcus Cousins say this on somewhere else. He said on a bad team, I could score 30 easy on a bad team because nobody cares. So my thing is, when I look at the whole totality of what the role that you took, when I look at the role that Michael Jordan took, he took his lumps. See, he took his lumps. Everybody say Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson, but they had to also come into who they were. So Scottie Pippen had to come into his own zone. Phil Jackson had really, I'm going to say this respectfully, Jordan had to allow Phil Jackson to tell him to take a step back and be willing to do that. Because like Jordan said, when Phil Jackson got there, I'm the MVP of the league, the defensive MVP of the league, the slam dunk champion, the all-star champion, and you telling me to take a step back for Scottie Pippen, who were averaging 12? So Jordan understood that I have to allow this man to coach to see what he could bring out of me. So when they came to him, they were all unknowns. Jordan was averaging 39. The rest of them, we was hopeful. When I look at LeBron, when you started winning them chips, we knew what you had. So when you got these people, it was a whole lot easier for you to get your ring. So sometimes the path that we take and the road that we take is going to determine that. So when we talk about ring culture, you got to have the rings.
Yeah. And people forget how bad the Bulls was when Jordan got there. So
and
he
how
took
bad
a
they
franchise that was in the dumps, garbage, trash.
And they ain't do nothing when he retired them 2 years.
Matter of fact,
No. They was a game away from going back to the finals the year after.
But we don't care about the price of tea in China almost being $1.
Because guess what? At the end of the day, it still was a game 7. They had a chance to win. They should have won it.
They call that bogus foul where Hubert Davis shooting 3.
Hey, but it's only fitting in game 7, Halliburton slip on the ice cube and be out for the game. That was crazy when that happened.
So rings do matter, but we got to put into context. Like Robert Horry got 7, but you didn't play with Shaq, Tim Duncan, and Hakeem. Duh. So you know that's 11 rings. Just they was gonna win those 11 without you.
But he was a contributor though. He was a major contributor.
He was
I won't say major, but he was a
contributor. But it's a whole lot easier to contribute when you're playing with them.
Oh, no question. Life is
and
easy.
So to me, it matters when we're talking about the greatest. And so when I look at certain things, what did you contribute to be the greatest? And falling short in the finals twice. Let's get that out the way. You can't keep on talking. Yeah, you gonna say rings don't matter. We saw you against the Spurs twice. I got the stats, and we saw you against the Mavericks. So yeah, you don't want the rings that count. Okay, we didn't forget those games. So it matters.
I know Robert.
I think we should be saying too with LeBron, with high IQ, super brainiac, and this and that. Why is he now changing the narrative or moving the goalposts?
Who say he changing the narrative? Who say he changing the narrative?
You didn't hear him talking to Nash?
So one person.
Why is it changing the narrative?
So
he
not
never
one,
won,
not 2, not 3, not 4, but he couldn't even beat the old Spurs. The Spurs.
One person said we believe LeBron is trying to change the narrative now because when LeBron
he ain't never going back to the finals.
No, when LeBron beat Golden State and came back from 3-1, he thought he was going to be the greatest, and people
and
still
the only person that thought that,
and people still didn't put him on that pedestal.
What you think, champ?
Change the narrative. I mean, Jay-Z said if you think the same as you did at 30 and then you did at 20, man, something wrong. I mean, the man.
Please, $1 million is still $1 million today.
I want to hear what Champ said before I answer that question.
No, it ain't.
Let me hear what
you
Champ
think differently. You had girls. After you have girls, you think a little differently.
That's cool.
You age and you mature, and you realize. Kobe realized it wasn't about ring. He started chasing MVPs.
Kobe was still trying to win, man. And
Kobe was taking all that money. Kobe was taking all that money, wasn't leaving nothing. Tim Duncan left money. That's how he got the championship.
If the league don't squash
George
the trade between Melo and
$30 million back then.
That wasn't no money.
Back then.
If they don't squash the trade, man, please, back then when Kobe was still in the league, they were not trying to overpower
bad luck. Chris Paul bad luck.
Let me talk.
It would have been worse off for Kobe.
Can I talk?
Both of them would have been hurt.
Can I talk?
Oh.
He crying out
when Kobe was in the league, they were coming out publicly saying that they don't want all these super juggernaut teams and all these small markets not having a player to fall back on. The whole reason that the CP3 trade got squashed is because they didn't want them teaming up in a large market. George Karl hated Melo and he hated Kobe. He made sure that trade wasn't gonna go through, because he hated them both that much. George Karl walked in there to Carmelo and said, bro, you ain't going to LA. You can go somewhere else, but you ain't going there.
Champ.
You see, George Karl never got another job. And he went
to
to North Carolina, know a lot of connections, everything. Never got another.
Ain't nobody want to play with Kobe, man. Ain't nobody really want to play with Kobe. Just like y'all said they don't want to play with LeBron.
Garnett was ready to go play with him one year. Kevin Garnett.
Hey, well, I'm gonna push back on you, host.
Kevin Garnett
you don't think the same as 20 and 30.
They were about to play with each other.
Here's the thing.
KG did want to play with Kobe.
Here's the thing.
About it.
You say the weekend ballers think different about ladies because he has daughters, right? So it's a reason why he changed his mind.
I didn't say that.
You did. You say something that you don't think the same at 20 and 30. I wonder why.
I'm just
so you know what I would like to know about LeBron? If it ain't rings, what should determine the greatest? Is it points? Because you all-time leader in that?
Took 30 years for that.
So what is it?
It's in the eye of the beholder. It can determine if you're giving back to your community. It can determine if you're speaking up for black folks. If Jordan went there, whoever. It can determine if your shoes are fire. It's a popularity contest. It's a popularity contest. And when you geezers get too old to talk, these young kids gonna throw LeBron up as the greatest ever did it. And y'all ain't gonna be able to say nothing.
You know why? Hey, you know why? I never said Kareem or Wilt or Russell is not the GOAT. You know why I never said that? Because I never seen him play.
Right. So why the young boys saying that? Y'all, they want y'all to.
Well, I expect the young boys to say that, but them young boys are not even saying LeBron. You know who they saying?
Paul George.
Paul George.
Kareem has a more decorated career than LeBron James.
He does. So
you know, I'm really ready for LeBron to retire because I'm so tired of y'all.
See, here's the thing about ring culture. Ring culture is not everything, but it's probably the cherry on top. And right now, when we see Jordan average the most points in the finals and never losing in the finals and hitting game-winning shots in the finals and outplaying everybody in the finals and never had a bad series in the finals, what can we say when we see greatness? Can we say that about LeBron?
I know you ready to change subject. Can I pose a question? I got
nigga, we 30 minutes in. Go ahead, pose on.
What are the four players? Who are the four players that got 3 NBA championships with 3 different teams or more?
I know this one. Hold on.
LeBron.
I know this one. Hit a third one.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
I don't care.
Ready? John Sally. He got 3 because then he went 2 with Detroit, 1 with Chicago.
You said LeBron and John Sally. You right?
John Sally.
What about the dude? Dennis
Robert over John Sally.
Edwards. John Edwards. What's his name?
I gave you the third one.
Dennis
Edwards.
No, I gave you the third one. I said John Sally, Robert Ory. I said somebody else before that.
So Robert Ory, LeBron, John Sally. I got them 3. Who's the 4th person?
James Edwards.
3 rings. I didn't care at first. Now I care.
Oh, you know who it is?
I see the Googling going on.
Oh yeah, he's that boy cheater.
My keyboard right there. I'm gonna tell you who it is. Damn.
It ain't Dennis Rodman. It ain't.
He won 2.
Robert Parrish.
Nope.
No, he only won 2.
Is it a Laker?
He played for the Lakers before, I believe. I think he played for like 1 year. He might have
I'm
played.
thinking it's the old school guy, because he played with the Lakers in '83. He was a power forward. McAdoo.
Bob McAdoo?
He is a forward.
Yeah, that's the fourth one, right?
No.
Oh.
Who is it, man?
Who is it?
Danny Green.
Oh.
Wow.
Toronto,
Lakers, San
Lakers,
Antonio Spurs, Lakers.
San Antonio, yep.
Boy.
So LeBron
Sometimes
was
you got to go with your first mind. Cause my first mind would have said,
Rockets H-Town. His legacy is about to be saved. Finally. W move. Oh no. The Rockets had to give up Jalen Green. He wasn't built for the moment. Dylan Brooks. He trashed the number 10 pick in this upcoming draft and 4 or 5 second-round picks. I ain't gonna lie. It might be a lot, but this is a 2-time Finals MVP. Next to Amir Biff for the moment, this squad is going to be scary. KD, Sengun, Jabari Smith, Amin and Freddie Van Vliet. Ooh, I don't know. What y'all think? What they top 5 in the West?
We done seen this story before. We see KD go to a new shiny toy, and we get the point and saying, "Oh snap, that's a Rolex." Turns out it's a Casio.
Turn the TV off.
I don't think
Walmart brand.
I don't like. It ain't like KD finna catapult them to number 1 in the West. They were just number 2 this season. They led the season in wins almost. They was the number 2 seed, first round out. Now, the thing that a lot of people don't look at, hey, you might not like Jalen Green. You might not think he was fit for the moment. But if you just honestly believe that KD would have won them a championship compared to keeping your young core together, and you had the number 10 pick this year,
crazy.
All I'm gonna say is, if somehow you would have been able to keep Jalen Green and add KD, I would be on the bandwagon. But since Jalen Green is gone, and I don't know who running the Suns. The Suns is being ran by a 9-year-old 2K player because they got about 10 shooting guards and no point guards. I don't know what's going on today. But hey, it'll be good for basketball. I love to go see a game, but I still feel Golden State gonna get better. I still feel the Nuggets gonna get better. The Wolves gonna get better. So it's still up for debate. They're gonna
Would
be
you have felt
middle.
better if they got rid of the Thompson twin and kept Jalen Green?
No, I would not. That's defense. Hell no.
Monster defense.
No. I really felt like the number 10 pick, 5 second-round picks, and I would have sent like Eason and
Smith
and the other little guy off the bench. I would have sent and Dylan Brooks. I would have sent Eason, Dylan Brooks.
I feel you.
You
A
can't
number
get
1 pick.
Eason nice though. Eason is
that's how you be trying to trade in fantasy football. You can't get KD for that, man. Go on, man.
You getting 6 picks and 2 players.
Second round picks.
Man, KD 37 years old. When the last time KD did anything spectacular?
And
he got 4 more years, max.
2017.
That man, all he gotta do is shoot.
What KD is doing now?
7 foot tall, bro. He's
what he
7
doing
foot
now
tall.
is
And
empty calories.
All he gotta do is
calories.
shoot.
That's his name. Empty calories.
Man, you crazy, man.
He don't
Look
move
what
the
Orlando
needle.
gave
He don't strike fear nobody. When the last big shot he hit?
Let me get my question out. Who won the trade?
2K would have
Who won the
denied
trade?
that
Phoenix
trade.
or Houston?
Oh, Phoenix.
I'm going to say Phoenix.
I'm gonna say Phoenix.
Man. The whole internet saying Houston got some.
Houston got KD. That's it.
Who won
they got
the trade?
COVID. That's what they got. COVID.
I'm gonna go with in the short term, Houston. In the long term, Phoenix. Short term.
When the boy contract run out, he out of there.
KD name got Phoenix to trade because his game show ain't got it. He ain't got it no more, man. What you been watching?
Short term.
You don't got it no more.
Empty calories.
They only needed another score last year. Well, this year.
Y'all get on there and say fit is about to fit. He fit.
He throw him some
Hey, can I
Yankees
say this?
inside for
Let me help you out.
Van Fleet, the whole team, man, it's trash.
Let me help you out, son. You said it earlier. 40,000 in 2012 is the same 40,000 in 2025, except the cost of living went up. And them 27, 6, and 5 that he gave when he won his MVP, it ain't the same because he been putting up the same numbers, and every year his team get worse
Empty
and worse
calories
and worse.
Man,
and
y'all
at
ain't
some
said
point,
the same thing when the man foot was on the
and
line when he
at
had a
some point,
3-pointer. Y'all was all on.
well, guess
he was
what?
in Brooklyn.
I
How
know
long
y'all.
were they
Y'all act like I'm new.
Well,
I know
guess what?
y'all. I know some of the
If he was
things
that
y'all done
great,
said.
guess what? If he was that great, he should have took his foot back. So what we're trying to say is this: is he an all-time talent? Yeah.
No
Sometimes that 27, 6, and 6 don't look the same because you had two other potential future Hall of Fames on your team. You couldn't win. You had to blow that up. You had two in New Jersey. You had to blow that up. So what makes me think that it's gonna work over here? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, we all a damn fool.
Is it KD fault? Is it KD fault?
Yes.
What? How?
Whatever you finna say is his fault. Because what he should have did.
He forced his way out of the nest.
I'm
Would
finna
you
say
not
it like
have?
this. I'm finna say it like this. Because I wish
Kyrie wasn't home, boy.
Let me say
Y'all let Kawhi do anything, but then KD and
no.
LeBron, boy, y'all. All right, go ahead.
Kawhi been hurt.
Let me
I
say
mean, I can't do nothing when the man hurt.
What
Yeah,
should have happened was KD
he
father
forced
should have
himself out
stayed.
of San Antonio. Go ahead, cuz. I'm sorry.
KD father should have stayed in his life and not been such a mama's boy.
Man, I knew you was saying something stupid.
When Draymond called him everything that he wanted to call him, he wanted to run away. No, you should have went to the locker room, caught your one, stayed there, and we wouldn't be having these conversations.
Draymond called him something that
a child of God.
Draymond called him and begged them to get on the team. Nigga don't beg me to come here then try to talk to me like I'm lower than you.
You know what he wrong at?
Do that. Don't
You
ever
know
do
what he
that.
wrong at,
Draymond
host?
is saying himself. Draymond is garbage. Call that man to beg him to get on the team. He ain't gonna try to big boy that man.
I thought KD was I thought KD from DC. That
Kapovich.
was one period of time. That was the crime capital of the world. Why he ain't bounce on him?
And guess what? KD ain't did nothing since he left. Draymond won a ring before him and after him. Now what?
Guess what, Kapovich? Let's put it this way.
How many final MVP
Well, guess what?
Draymond got? Nigga, you got
Here's
about
the thing.
5 rings now.
If Draymond called you on the phone, what?
All those
Draymond called you like he was calling Tyrone,
no, did he?
right? And he called you the B word. What you should have did was flex your power and say, "Get rid of this fucking nigga." And guess what would have happened then? Your ass would be winning championships, and Draymond would be at the bottom of the cellar. But instead, you allow him to get another ring and flex on you like that song. I'm just flexing on my ex bitch. That's what he did on you. And you mad at the organization, but now you buddy with Draymond doing the podcast talking about they gonna handle it wrong. How the hell you want a bunch of white people to handle some nigga shit that y'all created? And that's the problem. 2 niggas arguing about who the bitch and who not the bitch and who got the ball and go tell some white man from the suburbs fix this. I would love to see that. That's like 2 Black Panthers saying that's like 2 Black Panthers saying, Klansmen, can you help us?
You don't change my mind.
All I know
is when Jordan Poole says got out of pocket with Draymond Green, what happened?
Punch him in the face.
Hey, when AD said he don't want to play center, what LeBron did? Got his ass out. When Westbrook said, I'm not passing you the ball.
For the record for the show, what color is Jordan Poole?
Clear.
Bluntish.
Light skin.
Now, the KD and Poole situation was different. Poole was trying to take over the shine and not pass the ball and want to be the star. Compared to KD, bro, all you had to say was your mama punch him in the face, catch the one. Hey, y'all gonna go win a ring tomorrow.
Yeah, you gonna let the man
you ain't
call
gotta
you
take
out
your ball. You ain't gotta take your ball and leave.
Poole had that bad. Draymond dirty, dusty behind with man. Poole got that bad.
Hey,
Draymond
that's all I know was.
Hey,
he might well have banana sitting out there eating.
You know what real G's do? Even though I don't know what real G's do. When LeVar Ball called out LeBron, they sent Lonzo to New Orleans. We haven't heard from his ass yet. He should have been at the bottom of the cellar. Look, that's all. He had the power. They would have got rid of Draymond quickly. but yet you. That's all. Stop crying like a big little bitch.
Hey, you in the front for that water to a well ice to Eskimo award. I'm telling you that.
Man,
Check
listen.
this out real quick. Hold on.
Going to the Rockets means that all three of the original Thunder Big Three got traded to Houston. But there's more, because now that he's going to Houston, he's reuniting with Jeff Green. Remember, this was his draft mate from the 2007 class there in Seattle, and one of the core players from those young Thunder teams until he was traded for Kendrick Perkins. But yeah, Jeff Green is still in the league, and of course plays for the Houston Rockets. And this was supposed to be the Thunder's core. 2007, 2nd overall and 5th overall. 2008, 4th overall. 2009, 3rd overall. Yet here we are on the calendar day. The Thunder's new core has a chance to win a Game 7 for the NBA Finals, their first ring in franchise history. That same day, it's KD going to Houston to complete the quadfecta of original Thunder core, all going to Houston. While 13 years ago, we thought Oklahoma City fans are so lucky, and even the announcers, as this game, final second tip-off, they say, well, this group will be back time and time again. Well, not only did they not make it back, but they all ended up leaving Oklahoma City and at different points in their career ending up in Western Conference foe Houston Rockets uniforms. But will KD be the first former Thunder to get a ring in Houston?
No, hell no.
If KD wouldn't have been a hoe in OKC, they could have got a ring over there too.
Yeah.
Can't spell OKC without the O.
You can't spell soft without mentioning KD.
Tell him to get a new barber too, I guess.
He don't need that.
Maybe get his game back. He get his original hair back or so.
Because here's the thing. KD is an all-time great shooter. He's going to give you 26, 6, and 4 every game. He's going to give you probably 90, 50, and 40. But for some reason, that 90, 50, and 40 don't even give you 40 wins. So at some point, you got to kind of adjust what's going on, because you can put up numbers, but that's what we start calling empty calories. He's more like the Kevin Love on the Timberwolves everywhere he goes right now, because he go put up numbers, but it's not going to equate to wins. How do you have 3 of the best players in the league and you can't figure it out? And here's the thing about that. He had 2 championship coaches that was coaching them. 2. Not 1, but 2. In 2 years, you couldn't make the playoffs with 2 championship level head coaches that won rings. That's a reflection on you, because at some point you want to make the most money. You got to take the leadership role. And that's what's wrong with a lot of these players, these old players, LeBron and KD. You're taking all the salary cap money, and then you're saying, owner, we only got this much left, but I want a great player. You're trying to get $1 out of 15 cents. Make your money off the court so you can win on the court and you can obtain some legacy. As long as you're making 50, 60 million playing 50 games, your team ain't going to never win. And so, yeah, it's your fault. I said it with my chest. Playing 60 games, talking about how we go win. Well, maybe you'd have played them other 22. Maybe they'd have split it and been in the playoffs. So you got to figure it out at some point. You don't want nobody to coach you. You had Steve Nash, probably the worst coach. You had 2 of the best coaches, and they still don't win. You got to have a culture, and it starts with the best player. And until he established the culture, he established his Mamba mentality. He established his Jordan mentality. He established his Tim Duncan. See, Duncan didn't have to say nothing. He played by his game, and he looked at you. And when he stared a little bit too long, ask Steven Jackson what happened. So you got to establish who you are as a leader. So that way they know how to follow. Because everybody just don't go by what they watch. Because as great a dad as Joe is, his son just didn't watch him. Joe had to enforce some punishments for him to get there too. And that's the balance. He got to be a leader when you're making the most money. I'm sorry. If you don't want to be the leader, take a pay cut.
Right.
You can't be a principal making sub money.
So with LeBron,
LeBron.
Listen, LeBron, KD, Melo, Chris Paul, that draft class.
Banana boat.
We see character flaws when it comes to basketball. Do y'all think this group we have now of next up superstars, do y'all think those characteristics will be there, those basketball characteristics?
Yes.
With SGA, Ant-Man,
and a little different. I think and a little different because he's just hungry. He came from the bottom. A lot of these guys come in privileged. LeBron was hood, but they gave him so much to the point that he became hood rich real quick.
LeBron was good.
Yeah, I mean, when they saw at 13 he could dribble a basketball, they started buying them Benzes and Hummer trucks. So that ended real quick. So
you from Akron? I ain't know Akron.
Yeah.
I guess they do.
See, because that was from the bottom. When you start from the bottom, we got to respect that. But some of them, they got the talent, but it's just that mindset. They just fold and quit every time. And so you start to see this in the finals. You start to see. I'm gonna go back 90s basketball. They probably lost by 30, but let the Knicks lose by 30. You showboating by dunking and doing all this. You would have been hurt.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Now everybody just letting them have their little way. So you got to have some pride about it.
Well, speaking of somebody that came from the hood, let's talk about this gentleman right here.
Number one quarterback, baby.
Shoot, I got him beat. Let me tell you something, right? Now, Shedeur Sanders, 100-mile-per-hour speeding ticket. Oh, that's 100? Shoot, I got him beat. Let me tell you something, right? Now, the first thing I checked was he drinking?
That's it.
Yeah. Nope.
First thing I checked. Yep.
Was he high?
Nope.
Oh, so he's just another 21, 22-year-old kid that got some money that's chesting out the car, because I did that. And the funny thing is, a lot of players I played with, they did that. And it's not, let's make it okay, but if people on TV, right, viewers out there, you got kids, you got cousins.
All right. What he was saying is our internet, is Donald Trump internet making this too big a deal, or is it a big deal? Trigger Man Joe.
Trump internet.
Yeah.
No, it ain't no big deal because once you get a new car, and especially if it's supposed to be a fast car, you want to test it out and see what how fast it go. That's why you got it. I remember when I got my first big body Cadillac, I tested it out and see how fast it went, 125, then I got up off of it. I wasn't driving at night though. I wasn't drinking or nothing like that. But when you get something fast, you want to test it out and see how fast it go. But now when you start getting a speed ticket, then you've already exceeded what you're supposed to be doing. Now you need to slow down. You know how fast it go. Not drive regular.
Right. You wild driving the Cadillac at 125 though, but I wanted to argue with you. I wanted to argue with you, but when I got a Mustang, the first one of them Hemis were dropping back when Gucci Man a good 06, 05. I got a Hemi. Dodge Magnum, man. Mama had a speech with me, and I'm like, "Hey, man, it's a car." And I got back down Chantilly one night. They were just just building Chantilly. And I got up there. And once I got to around 100, it started doing something. It started floating a little bit, and that I never was again. So you might have a point there, Mr. Champ. But the boy was in the F-150.
Hey,
it might have been a Raptor though.
Yeah, Raptor.
Yeah, it probably was a Raptor. So that count too. Trigger Man Joe.
I respectfully disagree. Being the quarterback, you're supposed to be high IQ and intelligent. Matter of fact, he shouldn't even be driving at all. He should have people driving him around as rich as he is.
Bucky, right.
Right now, he already started his career off behind the 8 ball. And number 5 quarterback. Now he's 10th string on the quarterback list because he's making the season hadn't even started. A boot camp, training camp hadn't started, and he out here speeding. And you already seen what happened to Henry Ruggs, killed the white lady and the dog. I mean, I just don't get it. Eyes are always on you from being black and being a Sanders. It's just not. They're not wise. I wish somebody would have. I wish Pops. Well, Pops said now. Yeah, I don't hear nobody talking now. But hey, congrats, man. I guess you got the attention because they're out there dancing and with kids, and already had horrible interviews during the NFL Combine. Refused to throw at the Combine. Refused to run. So privileged and stuff. So kudos to the Shedeur Sanders, man.
You almost convinced me, Mr. Joe.
Just come on, man. Come on. You was a 5th round. You should be You know what I'm saying? Locked in, laser focused. Prove everybody wrong. And you out here, the season ain't even started, and they're gonna be talking about the tickets. Not the game, but tickets. Tickets.
Unpredictable. Settle this.
I'm going to say it is a big deal, and here's why. I think at that age we all did it, right? So none of us are above the fact of being criticized or being watched. The difference is, I want to say right around 2009, there was this thing called a camera phone. And then after that, a couple years later, there was a thing called going internet live streaming. So now when we did Dirt, there was nobody there to record what we did. It was always a he say, she say, because before cameras and internet and cell phones, he could have got stopped and said, the cop lied. I didn't do this. Now we got everything live. And when things are going live, we have to realize that we have to be very, very careful what we say and what we do. And as a quarterback, because Shady was a running back, the running back can act a fool. The running back can do this. As the leader of men, you have to be very, very careful about everything you do. Some of us are educators, so we have to be careful what we put out there into the air, because people and parents are always watching. So because of the age that we live in and the technology to broadcast everything, instead of this being like on the evening news later on, everything is live. And they get to see you live, and they get to record you leaving the place where you were drinking, and they see you drunk. They get to record you getting in your car stumbling, and they see you drunk. So everything that you do, we get to see it live and direct. And I think that's the difference with today and yesterday. When we always talk about what we used to do, everything is live.
And where has Shedeur Sanders? Where has he been staying the last 2 years? What he call home the last 2 years?
Colorado.
What he still doing with Mississippi license?
That's a good question.
I mean, he wasn't playing staying there too long, baby.
Oh, what it is? Okay, help me out. I'm a dinosaur.
I wonder why he got Mississippi license instead of Texas license.
That too. I mean, I don't.
Deion gave him that old.
At 16, right? So
yeah, because Deion said he gave him that old Ben. But let's skip to
it's a different era,
right? But you just smashed on Shady Unpredictable, because he did try to make us compare Shedeur to our nephews and things of that nature, and just like Joe said, that's a quarterback. And then, like you said, whatever your status is, you know what I'm saying? So you can't compare him to Jay or whatever, my nephew. He's different. Yeah.
What's the dude that did the money sign?
Johnny Manziel.
And Russell. Yeah, see, so many busts. Achilles Smith. So many busts, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's speak on somebody that can't do no wrong. Let's talk to this person before we get on up out of here.
LeBron James?
Nope.
Oh, that's right.
Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials
Suki.
they're going to go and look at it.
Bring it back.
I think it is. And Marina Mabry's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabry is going to get ejected. They're going to go and look at it.
What's wrong with him?
Look at Mabry. She's always in the mix. There's a lot of contact here.
In the face. Like a king, Prince of Kings, in the face.
That's what Clark didn't like. And then Mabry came in with
hit her with lateral movement.
But they said her teammates weren't taking up for it, and she should lead them high and dry lead. But now she has a teammate. She got a teammate that's gonna take her for.
Back last night. Let me explain to you why you shouldn't be, and honestly, I'm surprised it didn't happen even sooner. For starters, just listen to this clip from when Sophie signed with the Indiana Fever.
You're trying to do something great, it takes everybody, and so I want her to go do her thing, and anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here. But again, I think that just the competitor that I am,
no dancing the Diddy
fierce,
song.
I'm sassy, I stick up for my teammates, stick up for myself, and so sometimes I think that's okay to be feisty and be yourself.
Furthermore, Sophie's not afraid of anybody because she got a black belt in Taekwondo at 6 years old. And I know that sounds insane because when I first saw that, I was like, there's no way. I didn't even know you could get a black belt at 6 years old. So I had to look it up. I had to be sure. And in her Mizzou bio, it says, earned a black belt in Taekwondo at 6 years old. Like, what? Which perfectly explains why when everything went down last night, she put JC Shelton immediately in the clinch position. And she was literally on the football team in high school. Like, here she is on her senior day wearing a sash that says homecoming candidate. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised that the woman who has a black belt in Taekwondo and played football in high school isn't afraid to stick up for her teammates.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and her jersey sold out. Somebody make sure on the Facebook we had a discussion on this. It said she was a rising name anyway, but when she defended the great Caitlin Clark, the jersey sold out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to her, man. I mean, what is there to talk about? We have talked about this numerous of times. They keep going at Caitlin. But Caitlin sometimes give them a.
She the GOAT.
I thought I had that video. Caitlin later hit a 3-pointer. She later in the game hit a 3-pointer for like 30 feet, and she looked at the bench, and she was talking to him, and you know what I'm saying, letting them have it. How you should handle that situation. But what y'all got any comments on that, or same old?
The WNBA should be ashamed of themselves. And I'm not talking about the owners. I'm not talking about the GM. I'm not even talking about the coaches. I'm talking about the players. In 1998, I believe, 97, 98, somewhere, Michael Jordan, they wanted Jordan to come back to make sure the ratings stay up. So every owner decided to pay, $1.5 million to make sure Jordan come, because they know as long as Jordan is playing, the entire league is going to make money. So when he got the Jordan rules with those fouls, it's because the 30 owners invested in him to make sure that they make their money for them. You go hurt your cash cow? That's the only reason why people started watching. Now, have there been great players in the WNBA?
Yes.
Of course. But have we been interested in watching them? Of course not. So you go hurt your cash cow? Are you crazy? It's almost like we could sit here and talk about LeBron this and LeBron that. It's the reason why the league protect him. It's the reason why they want him to come back. He's going to draw ratings. And when ratings come, you get Draymond Green making Kia commercial with Wolves during the NBA finals and stuff. So at the end of the day, don't hurt your cash cow. The one that everybody's excited to see, the one that everybody's paying to see. Because before this, y'all were great individual talents. Y'all had great games, but nobody cared until she got there. So please respect the game, not the name. Come on, huh?
Well, I think it's good for the sport as long as they don't get to fight. They can do all the pushing and shoving they want to. That enhances the crowd and enhances the audience. But bringing your bodyguard in, that's a good thing. So the girls know that if you get out of hand, you already know you got the Karate Kid little daughter gonna put them yangs on you. And with the referees need to call it like they did Jordan. When Jordan was in the league, when he was making all the money and getting all the revenue in, Detroit was dragging him out the air. They put
Tom Brady.
They put the rules on him. You know, you can't be doing all that.
That's
because you don't want to hurt him. You want the game, you want that physicality, but you don't want him to be hurt because hurt gonna bring down your rating. So that's a good thing for them. Good job, Caitlin.
Don't keep your hands off Caitlin.
Haters be hating when you're worth some millions. I'm certain of it. You know, when I was at church, I heard the sermon. If you hate on Caitlin Clark, there's a great chance you won't make it into heaven. So they need to go to the altar and repent for their sins for touching CC or trying to touch her like that. And she had missed a few games. I forgot how many it was, 4 or 5. And then she came back and reminded the league that I'm still here. I'm still Dre. I'm still the GOAT. I think she got like 32, 9, and 7. I forgot. But it was something. She's the best player point blank. I agree with Sam.
Hey.
You cannot mess with the cash cow. They need to make some new rules and stuff because there's a new sheriff in town, Caden Clark, the name.
Hey.
We almost
I'm
done
like,
unpredictable.
yeah.
We
I'm
almost
like
done
what
unpredictable. Huh?
I'm like what DMX said. I think about what a nigga didn't have, and the nigga told a joke, and then the nigga didn't laugh. See, now I do the math. See, now I got this and this and this to that cat. That nigga's the shit. Which means that when you up there, you can't be touched, and when you're not, you roll. So what you should have did was file the bodyguard. That's the difference. You see, they don't touch Curry. They go at the green. It's a reason. So to me, don't mess up your money. Sometimes, my principal will get on my nerves. I'll be like, but guess what? I can't mess up my money. I got to protect my principal when somebody come in the building. And it's the same thing, man. You file somebody else.
Right. So before we get out of here, I mean, like Champ said, it might have helped. I mean, their little cat fights and stuff might be helping the WNBA. We're gonna see what the numbers look like.
Just somebody else. That's all.
The WNBA All-Star game is coming up. We know D probably gonna fly out to that one. I want to go to the home run derby, and then I checked on the ticket cost of that. I might have to sit in the parking lot to catch home runs. A lot.
About 400.
Yeah, but I want to stub her. I'm gonna check again though. Joker take me to the home run derby. But speaking of baseball, let's check this out right here real quick.
Ohtani and Fernando Tatis keep getting thrown at, and it finally boiled over with Dave Roberts confronting Mike Shildt. Top of the ninth, Fernando Tatis Jr. was hit by a pitch and immediately went to the ground. Padres manager Mike Shildt stormed the field and started yelling at Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, who went right up to Shildt and gave him a little push, which was then followed by chaos. Next half inning, the Padres responded by plunking Ohtani, who waved to his team he's okay and to stay in the dugout. This is the second time in the heated series, Tatis was hit by a pitch and was immediately followed up by the Padres, then throwing at Shohei. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts says he took Shildt shouting at him personal because they never intentionally threw at Tatis, but says it's obvious the Padres intentionally threw at Shohei each and every time.
He's yelling at me and staring me down. I took that personal. Tatis was hit 3 times in the last 7 games we played. There was not 1 in 10. You don't want that guy on base. I know that there was no intent from any of our guys hitting their guys.
Talk your talk.
Yeah, talk your talk. I'm supposed to believe that?
Yeah.
You said that with a straight face? You told me that with a... Oh, man.
You do research, man.
So, Joe, I'm supposed to believe Tatis got hit 3 times in 7 games.
Hey, man, boss. Eminem said get sweaty and wet, and drop the mic.
Hey, if Ruben get up at 2 a.m, 5 days out of 7, then I can believe 3 times out of 5 that happened.
That is funny. I plan on whooping up Ruben. Man, I'll talk about fantasy baseball while I'm on this podcast. Man,
I'm not talking about that. Because some people wake up at 2 a.m, and I'm about to call your damn job, and I hope they catch your ass sleeping. You got to be a bold individual.
You got new supervisor.
As if. Then he go pick up 8 people like nobody else got nobody to get off the waiver wire.
Yeah, and someone went negative though. Someone went negative.
And the funny part is
you live by the picture, you die by the picture.
He doing all that, and out of 8 teams, 6 make the playoffs, and 1 person already quit.
Oh man, let's not talk about fantasy, but shout out, happy birthday though, Ruben, man. He was the last of the Geminis, Gemini season, but they say he supposed to spank people on their birthday, so I did it. Gave Ruben a good old spank. But I didn't hit him with a pitch though. We talked about superstars, man. They hitting the superstars, man. They hitting Showtime and Tatis. You got on the same show, and y'all said Showtime was the best person in the game. I said Tatis. And look, they hitting them with pitches. What is baseball doing? Somebody thinks that it's good for the Rangers.
Even getting at it, man. I mean, this is what's missing in baseball. But back in the day, it was always fights. And if you are you're a heated rival, things are going to get heated sometime. And unfortunately, you're gonna have to be able to throw hands. I can recall when the Boston and the Yankees, which was one at that period of time, was the best series. Is one of the best series in sports, most definitely the best in baseball. And the benches came out, and Pedro Martinez caught one of the coaches of the Yankees, an old guy, and boom, slung him to the ground like he was yesterday's newspaper or whatnot. So, hey, man, it is what it is.
Is it good for the game? Is it good for the game, champ?
I think it's great. It's ratings, man. It's
Yeah.
great for the game. It's great for the game.
What you
As long
think?
as they don't bring no bats out there, it's great.
There you go. Yeah.
What's
But
his
you
name?
know,
Unforgettable.
I mean, even with the baseball, right quick. Nowadays, you can hit a home run, dance, do the Dougie, throw the bat. You couldn't do that back in the day.
I think it's good for the
The
game.
next player coming up finna get smoked. So they done got a little sauce. They need to bring some sauce back in the game.
Yeah, I just think baseball got too many unwritten rules that you can't do this and can't do that, and you can't take too long. You know, it's good for the game because guess what? I haven't watched the game all yet, but I watched the second game with them after the fight. At least they ain't get up at 2 a.m. trying to pick some damn players. Like he ain't got no goddamn life.
All right, man. Y'all check out the fourth quarter when we talk about the NBA finals and who won the finals and what that means for next year and the draft, the NBA draft. Who they gonna get with that pick?
For
Go
the
ahead.
NBA finals, we're going to see only one true superstar on the team and a bunch of players that play together. Not no dream team. But people say LeBron didn't have enough help with all them goddamn great Hall of Famers that he had on his team. If he didn't have help, D still got his internet working.
D was in a hotel. You didn't see that? I ain't the one to call people out though. I mean, President, you ain't heard that from me. But
that's why I saw that naked ass walking through the room.
I ain't see that now yet.
Oh.
But let me go get a quote before we get out of here. Since I don't know what clutch is.
I think he's in South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, attending some business with his mom, and I think somebody was having a 60th birthday. Shout out to Clutch. Yeah.
Shout out to Clutch.
But I'll have a serious moment on this one. In the city of Montgomery, we need to come together. Sometimes we get fools like Jamel Brown that's with the foolery, but we having young people getting killed in their sleep or whatever the story is, and sometimes we have to realize that. And I'm gonna say for all four of us, at 13 years old, at some point, some adult probably told us we'll never be nothing in life. Somebody told us whether they were black, white, family, not family. But as you can see, we have 4 pioneers and 4 leaders of the community that are leading young black people to the future, whether it's our kids or somebody else's kids. And when we start killing kids before they have a chance to even be something, it takes away the hope for tomorrow. So hopefully, after the video with the guns and stuff, maybe we'll just, at some point realize that respect the game like the old school. No wives, no children, no girlfriends. Just keep it like that. Whatever you do to each other, but keep children and wives out of this.
Indeed. Prayers for our city and prayers for our country. We out.